Follow, like, subscribe. This shit sucks.
Yeah, smooth intelligence, lyrical rhyme element. MIC, yo, everything is straight pureness, everything real is right here. Faking no jacks, the flavor's real right here. Pureness, everything real is right here. Faking no jacks, the flavor's real right here.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Birds, Beers, and BS here on the AAT Sports Network. We are your hosts, Eagle Jeff Warner, alongside Peenut. I don't know if you can hear any of this. I don't know, whatever. I hope you can, but look, we'll get this shit show on the road. A lot to discuss. It's been a good couple of weeks for some, not for me, however. But look, the Philadelphia Eagles are 6-1. For the first half start of the season. We'll dive into that, break it down a little bit, give you our thoughts on the last couple of weeks on where this team stands, not only in the NFC East, but in the NFC conference as a whole, the NFL, give you our thoughts on that. Also, the Eagles did make a big splash this past week. We'll discuss that big move. Howie Roseman working his magic once again. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we'll give you our preview on this Sunday's game against Washington, where I will be with Philly Sports Trip and the AT Sports Network down in Landover watching the Eagles hopefully kick some ass. But look, first let's pay the bills here on the network as we like to thank our sponsors for all that they do for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to thank our friends at Stuff to the Grills in Allentown. Again, order by calling 484-274-6760 or visit stufftothegrills.com for their full menu and specials, from their tremendous subs to the desserts. They do catering orders. So if you have a work event, a holiday party coming up, anything like that, you want to spread the holiday cheer or want to be a little generous to your coworkers and friends, hit up Stuff to the Grills. Again, stufftothegrills.com for their full menu and specials. I'd like to thank our friends at Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant in Allentown. You can order takeout or delivery at 610-395-2300 or vinnyspizzapa.com. Tremendous pizza, strombolis, garlic knots, all the delicious Italian cuisine that you can find. Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant. Again, them and Stuff to the Girls are both located off the Iroquois Trail in the Old Town Shopping Center, so make sure to check them out. Tell them that we sent you on over. I'd like to thank our friends at Debbie AllState Insurance. Let me pull up that. There we go. You can get a quote today by calling 610-395-6100. She can help you save money on your homeowner's insurance, your renter's insurance, your car insurance, flood insurance, whatever type of insurance you may need. Debbie will make it work for you make sure that you get the greatest deal possible and that you're saving money, especially in this freaking economy and with the way inflation is. Every penny counts. I would freaking out. So make sure to check out AllState Insurance Agency, Deborah Sigler. Tell them that we sent you on over to check them out.
Debbie does insurance.
Is that gonna be her new motto now?
Hey man, if it is, kudos.
I think that's everyone.
Look how down he is, everyone. Come on, cheer up. We just won a game. You're about to go to Landover, watch a live game, and this is the energy you're bringing.
Jenna, paying bills is important. Yeah, I know. Maybe made a little bit more. Maybe I didn't have to work as much. Pay our bills, damn Jenna. Just go off the rails. But look, the Philadelphia Eagles, let's get down to business, are 6-1 to start the season, defeating the Miami Dolphins 31-17. It wasn't easy, but look, the Jalen Hurts, 23-31, 279, 2 touchdowns and interception, was pretty efficient with a QB rating of 109.5. But we have to look at in this game where the big difference was on the defense side of football and how
100%.
Brian Desai and his game plan really helped Eagles win on Sunday. Peenut?
Hey, look, not just Brian Desai, but the players. Reddick showed up to play. The young guys showed up to play. Even the guys that I didn't expect to play the way they played, like Ricks, I really didn't see that coming. When I seen Ricks on Hill, I'm like, what are they doing? But I mean,
Hill did have I don't think it was on Ricks, but it was on Bradbury. But Hill did have a big touchdown.
Listen, you're not going to stop Hill.
No.
There's no way to stop him. You can only contain him. And I feel like the young guys came to play, and honestly, this defense. And look, I'm going to give Sean Desai his props too, but honestly, it all comes down to the players. The players executed, and they came away with the W. I say because of that defense. I know the offense, excuse me, went off, but I think it was the defense that kept them in the game, especially with the turnovers that we were having. So, shout out to the players, man. I think the players are doing their part, and I think the coach is putting them in prime position to make plays.
Absolutely. I say, look, they did their job. The fact that the number one offense in the National Football League, scoring offense in the NFL going in that game.
Right, the fastest offense in the NFL.
Absolutely. Were held to only 10 points in the first half, and I believe like 150 yards. It was their lowest first half total of any game this season, which was a big difference going in this game. And yeah, this team had its struggles. They still left you on the edge of your seat. They, despite the double-digit victory as they pulled away towards the end. But look, I still haven't seen this team play its best football. And look, them sitting at 6-1 right now.
Not bad.
They are at top of the NFC. With the best record right now. Look at the rest of the NFC standings. Yeah, Eagles lead 6-1. Lions with a surprising loss the way they lost against Baltimore 5-2. Falcons 4-3. San Francisco losing another one 5-2, and they're without their quarterback possibly on Sunday with Brock Purdy. So
the reason why that was the funniest part about. I mean, not funny. I'm not going to laugh about the injury or anything. But there's some conspiratorial theories going about that. But we'll get into that later. Go ahead, continue.
But where I want to get at is, I know we started to discuss this a couple weeks ago with Phil, but now we have. Look, the way the NFL is this year is there's so much parity. Like 1 week you think this is the best team,
correct?
Then they shit the bed. Then you think this team is the best team. They shit the bed. So it's really no team, despite the records, have really stand out to be. They are the most dominant team in the national. Some people felt the Eagles were that team, and then they laid an egg. Where when we were at MetLife 2 weeks ago against the New York fucking Jets.
Yeah, that was
a team that has never beaten the Philadelphia Eagles. Ended up being the Philadelphia Eagles for the first time in franchise history, ending our undefeated season.
That was the Jets Super Bowl for the year. Let them have that. But that was pretty bad too. We were there live, and it wasn't pretty. But look, man, you're right. But honestly, if you take that game out of the equation, the Eagles have been on a steady incline. Is that
incline? That's going up. Going up. So decline's going down.
They've been on a steady incline. Besides the Jets game, they've been getting better and better and better. I feel like the Jets game was a little bit of a step back that we kind of needed as a team to kind of face that adversity going into the Dolphins game. But I mean, let's face it, like hands down, right now, the Philadelphia Eagles look like the most complete team in the NFL as of right now.
That's my opinion. I wouldn't say the most complete team, but as Javier said, it feels like Kelly Green have them superpowers, one of the best, if not the best game we played so far. And I have to agree. I have to agree to that. This game was the most. I have to agree on to this point that I felt Sunday's matchup against a good opponent. Was their most complete game that they had played all year. There's no doubt about that. Offensively, they besides they still have to fix things in the red zone a little bit. The red zone efficiency early on kind of had you worried, but they were able to pick it up as things got on, as the game progressed. They were able to finally punch in the end zone. They're within the 20s, and defensively, even with the injuries going up against the tandem of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, they
got a little lucky with Waddle being out for a little bit with that.
You did,
problem.
But I'll say, granted, like you said, there's not going to be a way for you to really shut them down.
Nope.
You have to contain them and limit their big plays, which for the most part they did. Tyreek Hill's biggest play on Sunday was 27 yards. He was 11 catches, 88 yards, and a touchdown on 15 targets. They held him to 8 yards of reception, which is pretty solid for Tyreek Hill with him being a burner and a deep play threat. And I said going to that game on Twitter and on Facebook that they cannot allow Tyreek Hill to get behind this defense. And I know
it's going to happen. You just want to limit that from happening is basically.
Jalen Waddle, 6 catches, 63 yards, 10.5, along with 16 on 6 targets. So look, I felt the defense did their job. They were able to get pressure.
100%.
Reddick came out with a decent game. Darius Slay, for the most part, had a decent game with a tackle for loss, 2 pass deflections.
Yeah.
And it's starting to. And the promising thing is, for the most part, this is still a relatively new and young defense.
100%.
Granted, there's some older pieces. You have like Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox. You have Slay. You have guys that are the veterans on this team and the veterans on that defense side of football. But
yeah,
you have a lot of new pieces that are trying to work their way in. You saw a little bit more of the Kobe Dean out there. You saw Morrow coming in out there. Cunningham. Yeah. So you saw a lot on the defense side of football in some areas that are a little bit of weaknesses. It's always good on the defense side of the ball. Yeah, you want to be making plays, but if you're not making plays, you don't want your name called. Right. You don't want to be called out for something bad. And for the most part, the team's been playing pretty well.
Can I be honest with you too? Like, it seems like when Nakobe's in the lineup, the defense runs a little more efficiently.
Yeah, Nolan Smith finally getting a big sack coming in the fold.
Maybe he gets more touches or more looks on the defense, more snaps on the defense. But it just seemed like, defensively speaking, the team was more efficient. It was cohesive. And to limit the way the Dolphins run a lot of like movement before the snap kind of thing to confuse the defense. So to see the defense come up big versus a team that's trying to confuse them shows me, A, they're well coached, and B, the players are ready for any play that's coming at them. I'm sorry, I fumbled on that one. I'm sorry.
But yeah, the team had 4 sacks total, getting the Tua pretty well. Containing him for 23 of 32, 216 yards, 1 touchdown, and a big interception by Darius Slay.
Huge. That was momentum shifting at that point.
Especially since this hasn't been a defense that were normally last year was very opportunistic defense. A defense that would create havoc and create turnovers and give the offense short fields, which is why they were able to put as many points as they did last year. We haven't seen a lot of that.
No.
This was, I think, their first takeaway since the Buccaneers game.
Yeah. Which probably brings us to the whole signing that we just had.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. But I want to get I know you said you feel they're the most complete team, or where do you have them ranked in the NFC and the NFL at this point, about halfway through the season?
In the NFL, I have them ranked number 2, but in the NFC,
well, then you have to have them 1.
Well, I'm sorry, in the AFC. I mean, in the NFL, the complete NFL, AFC, NFC, I have them ranked 2 behind the Chiefs. In the NFC, I have them ranked number 1. And the reason why is, I mean, what team could turn the ball over twice the way they turn the ball over and still come away with a win?
Against a quality football team, too.
Right. It's not like we're playing like the Giants. No offense to my Giants fans out there or anything, but this was the Miami Dolphins. And you could see Mike McDaniel's face every time we would get that first down. You could see how it just sucked the life out of him. And this team, honestly, and the reason why I say complete, I'm not saying every position is A+ grade. What I'm saying is everyone did their job. And that comes down to coaching, discipline, and players being where they're supposed to be. So given what I saw from the whole week of football and all these players and teams, I think the Philadelphia Eagles look more complete. They were up for the task, and that's why I have them ranked number 1 NFC. I don't think there's a better team as of right now. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking a year. I'm saying right now they're number 1 NFC.
I can agree to that. And look, it's just that Jets game. Mm-hmm. That Jets game could come back to haunt us when it comes to home field advantage in the NFC.
Possible.
Look, the early part of the season, that was a game that almost everyone had probably as a win, even with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback.
100%, yeah.
And for them to let that game slip away the way they did down the stretch that they have the next 6 games. Look, they have the Commanders on Sunday. They have the Cowboys on Sunday night or on home on the 5th.
Yeah.
They have the Chiefs on Monday Night Football on the road the following week. The Bills, the 49ers, and then the Cowboys again. The next 6 weeks could make or break this team.
Right.
Make or break this team when it comes to the standings, not just in the NFC, but the NFC East as well. Look, the Cowboys have had our numbers for the most part the last couple seasons.
I agree with that.
Especially on the road. So I'll say you're probably expecting there the split possibly. And then the Chiefs, I'll say we just lost to them in the Super Bowl. Granted, they're not the same Chiefs team. We're not the same team we were in the Super Bowl either.
Right.
The Bills are a little bit underperforming, but they're still 4-3. They still have Josh Allen, one of the best young quarterbacks in the National Football League. The 49ers want revenge.
Yeah.
So look, it's even bigger that the 49ers lost, that the Lions lost. The rest of these teams in the NFC are losing games, having upsets, because if not, who knows where we'd be in the standings? We might be a wild card team. We're talking right now that we're the best team in the NFL. Down the stretch of this game, a couple losses here and there. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Which one of those teams out of this stretch scares you the most? Like, if you had to pick one team where you're like, I don't know.
I'd say the Cowboys.
Yeah, I would.
The Chiefs are 6-1, and look, the Chiefs are good. If we lose that game, okay. I kind of had that going into the season. We can't lose both these Cowboys games, because then they own the head-to-head tiebreaker automatically. Mm-hmm. But with 2 wins over us, it helps them in the division standings and the conference standings.
Yeah.
The biggest games that are going to come down to what happens to us this season, whether we're division winners or division losers, are those 2 Cowboys games. And I know it's an old cliche because all division games are like that. But
you're right, though.
But with the stretch of games that we have,
yeah,
I feel those are the 2 most important ones that we need to win.
No, I agree with you on that one. Actually, I have that one circled on my calendar. That game's going to be a huge game. Now, we've never really matched well up until this point with the Cowboys. I got to be honest with you. Dak knows how to pick us apart for some reason. But I feel like with this new defensive coordinator, and you know what I noticed, and not to change the subject, people, did I? Did I say that?
I don't pay the fuck attention.
With this new defensive coordinator, what I've noticed was, especially during the Dolphins game, I've seen a lot more press and I've seen a lot more blitzes that I would ever see in a game, especially with the high-powered, fast offense like the Dolphins. So I'm starting to come around on Sean, and I'm getting to that point where I'm like, all right, I'm feeling comfortable with his play calling. I think he's starting to get comfortable in his play calling, and I think the players are starting to mend and get to that point where they're cohesive. So I don't know if I'm as scared as I would have been beginning of the season, but I can see your point. But we'll see what happens. And to be honest with you, our stretch is just like any other stretch. Look at the teams that have been losing to teams that are garbage. You know what I'm saying? It's any given Sunday. As long as the team shows up to play and Hurts continues to play the way he's playing, I feel confident that this team will be okay. As a matter of fact, not to cut you off or anything, where do you think we should be on the Hurts alerts? We're in the blue section.
I think the blue section is about right.
We're going to stay in the blue section?
Blue section is about right.
We are in the blue section of the Hurts alerts.
He's still turning the ball over. Look,
it's not time to panic yet, y'all.
It's not time to panic. We're still winning football games.
Still in the blue section.
But Jalen Hurts has been a little reckless when it comes to protecting the football.
He has been reckless, and that's something he has to clean up. Maybe it's the injury rumor that's going around. I don't know. But you know what else I noticed, too, is Hurts is staying in the pocket a lot more, too. He's moving around that pocket. Like, he's not just automatically running and gunning, but he's actually, shifting in that pocket to find that open receiver.
Well, that and the offensive line's not giving him the time that we expect him to have. So I feel the offensive line, with him not giving the protection up front, has been playing a factor. But look, I'll say we talked about the weaknesses. We were without Reed Blankenship. We had a couple injuries in the secondary, but Howie made a splash this week. A little bit of a surprising splash as they acquired all-pro safety Kevin Byard from the Tennessee Titans this past week. Look, Howie fleeced him once again.
Howie's the man. I've been telling you for years.
Trying to find the compensation.
Isn't his name Byard or something like that, though?
Byard, Bird, whatever.
Tomatoes.
Yeah, exactly. But look, the Eagles agreed to a trade to acquire him from the Tennessee Titans for a 5th and 6th round pick in 2024, along with safety Terrell Edmonds. Bye-bye, Edmonds.
Yeah, thank God.
Bird, 2-time first-team All-Pro selection and 2-time Pro Bowl player at the top of his game, and has a chance to add him immediately to Sean Desai's group. In 6 games of the Titans in 2023, Byard, Bird, whatever, has 47 total tackles, including 30 solo hits, a fumble recovery, starting all 6 games. He has started 111 consecutive games overall.
Yeah.
And look,
he seems
they gave up limited compensation for him. Hell, even Madden said that wasn't even a fucking fair trade.
I've seen that.
Granted, I think it was last year's Madden. Because this year's Madden, I think you can trade up to 6 players or 6 options or something like that. But look, Byard, Bird, whatever, Kevin,
Byard,
KB, whatever you want to call him. Look,
Kevon.
He fills a giant role, and a guy that can play at the top of his game, and he's a guy that brings a lot of versatility. He brought it up this week in his press conference that the reason he feels he's a good fit in almost any style of defense is because of his versatility, his flexibility, watching game tape, and finding ways of strengths in his game where he can go out there and perform at a high level no matter where they put him on the field, whether it's at the safety, where it's up at the line of scrimmage, at the joker position, whatever they have him in coverage, blitzing, whatever. Yeah. He feels he can play it all, and he brings a lot of versatility at the cheap because, look, the Tennessee Titans, not only did we get cheap compensation, the Tennessee Titans converted his contract because of too much of a cap hit earlier this offseason into a signing bonus, which I think his cap total for this season, for this year, is only like 3 or 4 million. So you get an all-pro safety for late-round draft picks that were going to be probably practice squad players anyway, or how he's going to use the trade up, and you get an all-pro safety to fill the back end of your defense to add to already a stellar defensive backfield with Darius Slay and James Bradbury. And you have Reed Blankenship, who's now fully healthy this past week, who should be coming back, who could come in here and fill in a nice role at the back end of that defense. Yeah,
not only that, but he stays on the field. The guy, and I'm hoping I'm not jinxing him here, but he's a healthy scratch. This guy's played consecutively. He shows up. The guy, he's a ball hog. Like, it's a definite upgrade. I can't really see any negatives in the trade. Like, I want to find a negative in the trade, but I really can't. So we'll see. We'll see how that defensive backfield starts to shape up, especially before the deadline.
Party Doll Dave's deflated here.
Yo, Party Doll Dave's chilling, yo.
He's deflated.
He's not deflated. I blew him today. No. I blew him up. I blew Party Doll Dave. Nah, Party Doll Dave. If for those that are new to the show, this is Party Doll Dave. He's been with us every step of the way. I can't believe he survived. He's a cheap sex doll, and he's still here. So yeah, shout out to Party Doll Dave. He don't say much, but he be doing shit.
Look, this could be the type of move, like every year there's that one move that you're wondering how did Howie do it, or that they make that much of an impact and make this team go on a deep playoff run or a deep or Super Bowl run. Yeah. The year they won the Super Bowl with Jay Ajayi. Yeah. Last year it was, I forget who the fuck it was. He made some type of move that helped us out.
He was making moves every year.
Well, exactly.
What move do you think he should make next? Like, before the trade deadline, do you think he should go more defensive or more offensive? Because in my opinion, I feel like if he was smart, he would just focus on that defensive side of the ball. I mean, if you go O-line, D-line, I'm cool with that, no problem. But I think, honestly, maybe some linebacker help, maybe something on the because everyone wants Henry, which who wouldn't want Henry, but realistically speaking, I don't see that happening. I think Henry's one of those guys that A, he wants to get paid, B, he's gonna want to get bulk of the carries, and you know how it is with Philly running backs. You're not gonna get the bulk. You might get a quarter or 2 quarters if you got the hot hand or whatnot, because Gainwell's been getting touches just as much as what's his face. So I don't see that happening. Would I want it to happen? Yes, but I think they should focus on the defensive side of the ball, especially the way this defense is playing. It get like watching that game and seeing the way this defensive front gets at that quarterback and disrupts plays. If you add on to that, I feel like you can be more dominant, and we can have it seem like the Baltimore Ravens when they won their Super Bowl, and have that defense actually dictate what that offense is going to do, as opposed to the offense dictating how the defense is going to respond to it. That's just me, though, and I don't know stuff. I'm an alcoholic.
But he will be making his Eagles debut Sunday in Landover as the Eagles take on the Commanders and look to improve this, hopefully 7-1 on the season. And look, going into this game, all the talk all week has been, how is Jalen Hurts' health? Because towards the end of that Miami game, look, he was wearing a brace. There was a lot of cause concern. He looked a little shaky in the pocket a little bit. He looked not the same mobile Jalen Hurts with that brace on. But so far this week, Jalen Hurts has not been on a single day of the injury report. So for today's injury report, did not participate quarterbacks Bradley Roby, limited participant Milton Williams, James Bradbury, Zach Cunningham, Jordan Davis, and full participant Reed Blankenship, who looks like he'll be a go coming back for Sunday's game against the Commanders. So Peenut, I want to know what is your key to victory on Sunday, real quick. I'll say We can dive in through the X's and O's, but we don't have all time for that. I want to get back to my drinking depression or something.
All right. Well, the keys to the game is no turnovers, and you know what? I'm just gonna keep it at that. I think if the Eagles play a clean game, no turnovers, no penalties, there's no way we can lose that game. Now, if we turn the ball over and keep Washington in the game, that's when it gets a little sketchy. I think if we don't turn the ball over and we play a clean game, thank you, refs, for last week, because I'm going to keep it real. There were a couple calls on both sides of the ball, but if we can play a clean game and not turn the ball over and play the way the Philadelphia Eagles play, I think we have a really good chance of just walking away with this win with no problem.
We felt that earlier in the year, though.
Mm-hmm.
Look, we felt that we had the same confidence. We had the same level of confidence going to the game a few weeks ago, where we won by the skin of our teeth in a game-winning field goal by Jake Elliott.
Yeah.
So, look, I'm not gonna say we're gonna roll over on the Commanders.
I'm not saying that.
NFC East matchups are always physical. They're always tough,
especially Washington. It's always that.
But I feel, look, I don't see this team laying in their egg like they did against the New York Jets.
Right.
I feel Hurts, yeah, he might be banged up, but with his leadership, and he's still a quality player, even banged up, with the amount of weapons we have at our disposal with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Goddard finally getting in the thick of things, and the way we can attack opposing defenses through the air and on the ground with our dual threat ability to attack the defense. I don't see the Commanders being able to keep up with that this time. I feel, look, earlier in the year, we were still trying to find our groove. We were still trying to knock off the rust and get back in the thick of things on the type of level football that we could play. And I feel this team is motivated. I feel that Jets game was a little bit of a wake-up call.
100%.
They had the confidence now going into this game after a big, convincing, a decent win against the Miami Dolphins, a quality team, not just in the AFC, but in the NFL as a whole.
100%.
And the way this defense is playing, it's a different defense. We add a couple pieces. We're getting healthier at the right time, and the way our pass rush has been getting after the quarterback the last couple of weeks, and the way that Sean Desai has been game planning for opposing offenses, he's not causing some havoc. And I don't feel the Commanders. It's going to be the Commanders are going to be seeing a different Eagles team than we saw a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I feel that, of course, I know it's been my motto all year long for this team, is the only ones that are going to stop the Eagles are the Eagles themselves. And that has been the fact for most of this season, even though some of those victories, they shouldn't have been as close as they were if the Eagles didn't bite themselves in the foot.
Case in point last week.
Yeah.
Case in point.
And that, 2 weeks ago against the Jets.
No, what I'm saying is even last week versus the Dolphins, if you really think about it, they should have only scored 7 points.
Yeah.
The turnover turned into a field goal.
Yeah.
And then there was the pick six from Hurts. So,
but
if you think about it, we should have beat them, 31-7. You know what I mean?
Turnovers, I agree with you. The big thing again all season long has been the red zone efficiency. They sort of got off the schneid last week.
The schneid, that's a good
but they need to continue that rhythm, because look, in the National Football League, I know I said the National Football League, I'm sounding all cool and mysterious.
Look at this guy sounding all cool and mysterious.
Whatever. You can't win football games when it comes to kicking field goals.
100% agree with
Red zone efficiency, you need to punch it in for in the end zone. If you allow your opponent to stay in the game and allow them to stick around and fight for their lives, they might just surprise you.
Yeah.
Your one big mistake could put them back at the lead, back in the game.
And you don't want to do this, especially with a division rivalry. Let's face it, the Commanders, they show up to play. Look, they don't care if we're the best team in the NFL or NFC. They want to beat our ass that game, and they will do everything in their power to do so. Oh, we're going through some of these real quick. Got a problem.
So what's your prediction for Sunday?
I think honestly, like fuck it. This is my prediction. 31-7. I think the defense comes in there and they just shut them down. I think Scary Terry gets one of those the Tyreek Hills like bombs, and then Sean Desai will adjust. And I feel this defensive front with the defensive line is just crazy. I think they add enough pressure, stop the run, and they make the game one-dimensional, and that's what's going to play right into the Philadelphia Eagles defense. I think it's going to be 31-7. I'm hoping it is. And don't quote me, don't bet on it. And if you do, please split me some money on that one because I said it. But I think it's going to be one of those games that leads us into this stretch of basically the gauntlet. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think this team has something to prove. I think they're angry. I think they're nasty. And I think they're at that point now where they're actually going to be bullying people. I think this is going to be one of those games.
I have the Eagles winning this one. I'll say I only got too cocky, but I'll say I have the Eagles winning this one. They still win, pull off. It'll be close early on, pull off and win. Pull away with the victory late in the game.
Okay.
I have the Eagles winning 28-17.
Okay. All right.
28-17. So we both have the Eagles improving to 7-1, going to the gauntlet, as Peenut would say. A tough stretch of games over the middle and the end of the season. So again, anything else?
Nah, man, fuck that. I think we said it, and you know what? We didn't really curse at each other that much this show. We don't do shows like this very often, but when we do, it's Dos Equis.
Pretty much. And by the way, fuck you, John Jones.
Yeah, no, it ain't his fault.
It is his fault. It's his fucking. It's his fault.
He's
working out probably.
No,
I don't know if they ever announced how it happened, but
I'm not gonna lie.
He just fucking ruined the biggest fight of the goddamn year.
I agree with you.
And for people that spent thousands of dollars to go see that fight, I fucking feel sorry for you now.
Who did they announce the replacements yet?
No, that fight's completely off the card. Stipe's off the card. And they announced the new main event, which was the co-main event, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. All right. Well, still. All right.
But do you have anything else to say before we get the hell out of here?
Oh, happy birthday, Laura McClafferty, October 28th. I love you. Mwah.
Took you fucking long enough. Took me reminding you.
You were talking shit about your wife when the show started.
Oh, I don't fucking care. She knows I talk shit on her. But again, thank everyone for tuning in. Hopefully talking about an Eagles victory next week if we decide to fucking come back and if you decide to listen. So appreciate everyone tuning in.
Yo, share, like, subscribe, share.
Yeah, whatever the hell he just said.
Share.
Make sure to support our sponsors, Stuff to the Grills, Vinny's Pizza, AllState Insurance, Deadly Sigler, all at the Old Town Shopping Center off the Iroquois Trail. Check them out. Tell them we sent you on over.
Yeah, don't go over there and not mention us because they'll find out I'm gonna be pissed.
Support our sponsors. Yeah. Supporting our sponsors supports us, and maybe I can get out of this fucking hellhole.
I love this show.
But again, then every single fucking show we do here on Birds, Beers, and BS.
Yo, drink them if you got them.
Oh, we do.